Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust, you are meant to be. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. These help support my mission of creating more peace on earth. Okay, collective, welcome, welcome, welcome. Going to get some readings here today. We'll start with a general message, and we'll just kind of see what it is that Spirit would like to share. I've been getting lots of downloads. I've had a couple of really intense dreams. So, of course, those will be factoring in to these readings. Seems like an active dream time right now, at least for me. All right. Spirit, thanks for using me as a channel to bring through these messages. What is it that you would like to share with us today? This is a message of guidance. A message of guidance. Okay. And a big thank you to all my subscribers. My channel continues to grow, so I'm very, very grateful for that. You can check the description box for more information if you want to get in touch with me. I am going to be offering some coaching sessions. So if you want to connect with me, check out the info in the description box. Okay. All right, Spirit. Let's get the general message here, this message of guidance for the collective. The Lovers, first card out. All right. The Lovers, this is about a choice. This can be about a couple of lovers. I love the imagery on this card. You know, we see these two individuals. They're not wearing their clothes, so they're comfortable being vulnerable in front of one another. There's a mountain in the background, which I think symbolizes, it can symbolize the ascension path. And, you know, on each side, there is a separate ascension path, but it culminates in the peak of the mountain. And of course, they're being watched over by an angel. So they are being divinely guided. But one of the most compelling things about this card is the fact that the feminine energy is looking up at the angel. So she's in direct communion with Spirit, while the masculine is looking over at her, as if he's getting and receiving his guidance from the feminine. So the feminine is sort of an intermediary between the divine and the masculine in this dynamic. So it could, you know, apply like to two individual people, but it could also be that in order for the masculine energy, let's say it's a dominant masculine energy, it could be a male, doesn't have to be, but for the masculine energy to be in touch with the divine, there is a need to tap into the feminine nature. Interesting, right? So that happens through the intuition, the feelings, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, an opportunity here exists between soulmates. This could be a couple of soulmates here that we are focused on. Maybe this is guidance for you if you're in a soulmate connection. This could be somebody who is also your lover. Challenge? The Wounded Warrior, we've got a Nine of Wands here. A sense of weariness, feeling like you're not quite sure what's around the corner, but you need to be prepared. And this can be a little exhausting. It's maybe a connection that's not in union. And the option, the action to take, we have a Three of Cups. Okay, so gather together with friends, soul family, like-minded people, and just enjoy life, enjoy being in the moment. Tell us a little bit more about the Lovers here. Wow, a Ten of Cups. Well, this is some type of maybe connection that could potentially go to the Ten of Cups. It might be heading in that direction. And we have a Five of Swords in the reverse. So this is significant because it suggests that whatever adversity or conflict there was, there's either a pause or it has subsided. So this could be between you both, but based on all of the three figures here in this image, I think that sort of suggests that, maybe there were other people in the community or around this connection that had some doubts, had some issues, felt concerned, didn't like this connection. Okay, tell us more about these soulmates, this opportunity. Wow. The Ace of Swords, clear seeing. This could be an opportunity to have some type of a breakthrough. This is like a spiritual insight, a flash of understanding, of truth. And then we have the Death in the reverse. Huh. With the Death in the reverse in this context, I feel like these might be two soulmates who aren't ready to end something. They are resisting a transformation, or it's an opportunity though. So it's almost like they are, instead of releasing something that maybe has been challenging, they are making a decision to stick with it a little longer. Kind of curious why that would be an opportunity. Seems to me that allowing a death, allowing an ending is the way forward a lot of times. So I find it curious that the Death card is in the reverse. We're going to have to get some more info. Tell us about this challenge with the Nine of Wands. What's this about here? Okay. There's a Five of Cups. This is grief and loss. We see three spilt over cups. Okay. Okay. And a Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is a water sign feminine. This is the first court card that's come out. So this could be for a water sign, and specifically a feminine that we're reading for here. And it might be that this Queen of Cups is the one who finds themselves in this situation. This is just the water element. Okay, so you don't have to be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for this to resonate. But this is about love. This is almost like somebody's got a lot of love for someone or for a connection. But there's something that is not transforming. And there is an opportunity in that. But for this Queen of Cups, this seems to be a challenge. There is an opportunity in a delay of some kind with regard to a transformation, but this is posing a challenge for this Queen of Cups. We have the Hanged One in the reverse, Pisces energy here. I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's a sense that there's a group dynamic at play here. And within this group dynamic, there's a sense of, I don't want to say stagnancy, but like the Hanged Man in the upright is about taking a pause and seeing things in a new way. But when it's in the reverse, it's like this enlightenment, this ability to conceive of something in a new way is being blocked. And I think it's being blocked by a Three of Cups dynamic. Something about the family, something about the people that are surrounding somebody in this connection. There's something about the community that is blocking a new perspective, blocking enlightenment. We've got an Ace of Pentacles here in the upright. So this is a gift from the divine. This could be like even a new begin, like a planting a seed, a prosperous new start in something. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that somebody in this connection is not seeing the gift that this connection represents. Okay, it's, I think, very clear here that this is some type of a soulmate connection. There's a lot of potential for happiness here. There's even a sense of calm after the storm. Like maybe there was some adversity either within the dynamic between these two or just in general, but that has subsided. But I think what I'm seeing here is that there is a need to pause within this transformation. You know, sometimes we want to keep pushing ahead and pushing ahead, wanting to force a transformation within a dynamic, within a connection. But as we all know, divine timing has to do its thing. You know, we can only process so many lessons and so much information at once. And I'm trying to think of a good analogy for that, but it's like, I don't know, it's like you want to run a marathon. Okay, chances are you're going to have to build up to being able to run that marathon. You train, right? You train for several weeks. You know, first week you run 5 miles a day for 4 days and you build, right? And then you go into a period where maybe you rest for a week and do less, but then you come back and you're preparing for that moment. Okay, so the analogy is, in this connection, it's about this 10 of Cups, I think. It's about getting to this point, two lovers getting to the point of harmonizing and coming together to have this completion. And the opportunity is to stand in your truth. Hold fast to what you know is true about this connection, which is that it is a soulmate connection with the Six of Cups. Hold fast to what you know to be true about it and don't force the process. This transformation is not ready to happen quite yet. There's more that needs to be done. And I think what we're seeing here is that there's something to do with grief. There's a sense that there may be some grieving that needs to be done. This could be grieving things that are being left behind. This could be grieving parts of self that you are leaving behind in order to pursue this higher love, right, where you're being watched over and guided by the divine. There's also a sense that somebody in the connection is needing to look at a Three of Cups, look at a group dynamic that may be around them in a new way, but it's not happening. Okay, this is part of what this Death in the Reverse is about. We can't transform something if we don't have clarity about it, right? If we are not seeing things in a new way and we just think, oh, well, that's what it is and that's fine. If it's actually something that's holding someone in this connection back and they're not recognizing it, then more time is going to be needed, right, for that to come to light. Meanwhile, keep planting those seeds. That's what I'm seeing here for somebody. If this resonates for you, collective, keep planting those seeds. I think the divine is giving you a lot of opportunity right now to create abundance for yourself, not just materially, but perhaps in other ways too. Okay, so maybe new connections, maybe new hobbies, interests, passions, creative pursuits, um, positive shifts in your health, in your mindset, right? All of it. So that's what I'm seeing here. I think the message of guidance is to not resist divine's timing on something. You know, we can hold the truth gracefully without needing to push. We can just see it for what it is and make the most of wherever wherever we find ourselves, right? We can't force a transformation. We can't force anybody to see things in a new way if they're not ready to. So I think that that is the guidance, okay? Just, you know, surrender to divine timing here, okay? And don't question what you know to be true. Oh, and we got a 4 of Wands on the bottom. I just saw that. That is a nice card to have right there. All right, collective. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye for now. Let's see.